Our modern world is grappling with unprecedented environmental and socio-economic crises. Climate change, pollution, and resource depletion threaten the delicate balance of our planet. Social inequalities are widening, leaving millions in poverty and despair. These interconnected crises are not merely the result of technological advancements or policy failures. They are deeply rooted in the philosophical foundations of our civilization, particularly those of the West. For centuries, Western thought has fostered a worldview that separates humanity from nature. This separation has led to an exploitative relationship with the environment, where nature is viewed primarily as a resource to be controlled and consumed. This perspective has had devastating consequences for the planet and its inhabitants. The environmental degradation and social injustices we witness today are a stark reminder of the urgent need to re-examine our philosophical assumptions and seek alternative ways of understanding our place in the world. We must move beyond the anthropocentric worldview that has brought us to this point and embrace a more holistic and sustainable approach to living on Earth. At the heart of the Western philosophical tradition lies a fundamental separation between humanity and nature. This separation is deeply embedded in the Enlightenment ideals of rationality, objectivity, and the pursuit of knowledge through scientific inquiry. While these ideals have undoubtedly led to significant advancements in science and technology, they have also come at a cost. René Descartes, a prominent figure of the Enlightenment, famously declared, "I think, therefore I am." This statement epitomizes the Cartesian dualism that underpins much of Western thought. This dualism posits a clear distinction between the mind, the realm of human thought and reason, and the material world, which includes nature. Nature, in this view, is reduced to a collection of objects devoid of consciousness or intrinsic value. This separation has had profound implications for our relationship with the environment. If nature is seen as nothing more than a collection of resources to be exploited for human benefit, then there is little incentive to treat it with respect or to consider the long-term consequences of our actions. The Industrial Revolution, often hailed as a triumph of human ingenuity, stands as a stark example of how the Western philosophical tradition has led to the exploitation of nature. The invention of the steam engine and the subsequent mechanization of production unleashed an era of unprecedented economic growth. However, this progress came at a heavy price. Factories sprang up across Europe and North America, spewing smoke and pollutants into the atmosphere. Forests were razed to make way for mines and plantations. The insatiable appetite of industrial capitalism demanded ever-increasing extraction of natural resources with little regard for the environment or the communities that depended on it. This exploitation was justified by the belief in human progress and the idea that nature was a resource to be harnessed for the betterment of humankind. However, the benefits of this progress were not distributed equitably. While a select few amassed vast fortunes, the majority of people, particularly in colonized nations, suffered the consequences of environmental degradation and social injustice. Western philosophy, in its pursuit of objective truth and scientific understanding, has often overlooked the spiritual dimension of our relationship with nature. Unlike many indigenous cultures that view nature as sacred and imbued with spirit, Western thought has largely reduced the natural world to a collection of objects to be studied, analyzed, and manipulated. This loss of spiritual connection has had a profound impact on our environmental consciousness. When we no longer see ourselves as part of nature, when we fail to recognize the interconnectedness of all life, we lose our sense of responsibility towards the environment. We become detached from the natural world, viewing it as something separate from ourselves, something that exists solely for our benefit. This detachment has paved the way for the rampant consumerism and environmental degradation that we see today. We consume without regard for the consequences of our actions, believing that our technological prowess will always find a solution to the problems we create. However, the Earth's resources are not infinite, and the consequences of our actions are becoming increasingly dire. In stark contrast to the Western philosophical tradition, Indian philosophy offers a profoundly different perspective on our relationship with nature. At the heart of this perspective lies the concept of the cosmic order that governs the universe. It is not simply a set of laws or principles. It is the very fabric of existence, the eternal truth that permeates all of creation, encompasses the natural rhythms and cycles of life, the interconnectedness of all beings, and the delicate balance that sustains the web of life. It is the inherent harmony of the cosmos, a harmony that arises from the recognition that all things are interconnected and interdependent. This understanding has profound implications for how we view ourselves and our place in the world. It reminds us that we are not separate from nature, but rather an integral part of the cosmic dance of life. Our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for all beings and for the planet as a whole. Section 6. Recognizing the oneness of all life. Central to Indian philosophy is the concept of Advaita Vedanta, the non-duality of existence. Advaita asserts that beneath the apparent diversity of the world lies a fundamental unity, a oneness that connects all beings. This unity is not merely a philosophical concept, it is a lived reality, experienced through deep contemplation and a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. This realization of oneness has profound implications for our relationship with nature. If we truly understand that all beings are interconnected, that we are all part of the same web of life, then harming nature is akin to harming ourselves. We begin to see the natural world not as something separate from ourselves, but as an extension of our own being. This understanding fosters a sense of reverence and respect for all life, a recognition that all beings have intrinsic value regardless of their utility to humans. It is a perspective that encourages us to live in harmony with nature, to see ourselves as stewards of the earth rather than its masters. Section 7. Living in Harmony Dharma and the Web of Life. In Indian philosophy, Dharma is often translated as duty or righteous living. However, Dharma encompasses much more than mere adherence to rules or codes of conduct. It is a way of life that aligns with the cosmic order, a path of action that recognizes the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of living in harmony with nature. Dharma emphasizes the importance of fulfilling our responsibilities towards all beings, including plants, animals, rivers, and forests. It calls upon us to live in a way that minimizes harm and maximizes benefit for all creatures and for the planet as a whole. This understanding of Dharma has led to the development of sustainable practices in India for centuries. From water harvesting techniques to organic farming methods, these practices reflect a deep respect for nature and a commitment to living in harmony with the environment. Section 8. Contrasting lenses, human progress and eternal harmony. The contrasting perspectives of Western and Indian philosophy reveal two fundamentally different approaches to understanding our place in the world. Western philosophy, with its emphasis on human reason and the pursuit of progress, has often led to an exploitative relationship with nature. The drive for economic growth and technological advancement has often overshadowed concerns for the environment and for social justice. Indian philosophy, on the other hand, offers a more holistic and sustainable vision. Rooted in the concepts of Artha, Advaita, and Dharma, this perspective emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of living in harmony with nature. It is a vision that recognizes the limitations of human-centered progress and calls for a more balanced and compassionate approach to our relationship with the planet. These contrasting perspectives have shaped societal attitudes towards the environment in profound ways. The Western worldview has fueled the Industrial Revolution and the rise of consumer culture, leading to unprecedented levels of environmental degradation and social inequality. The Indian worldview, on the other hand, has fostered a more sustainable way of life, one that recognizes the intrinsic value of nature and the importance of living in harmony with all beings. Section 9. Towards a Sustainable Future, Embracing Ancient Wisdom. As we confront the unprecedented environmental and social challenges of the 21st century, it is clear that the dominant paradigm of Western thought is no longer tenable. The pursuit of endless economic growth on a finite planet is a recipe for disaster. We must find a new way forward, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of all life and the need to live within the limits of our planet's resources. The ancient wisdom of Indian philosophy offers valuable insights for navigating this critical juncture in human history. The concepts of Urta, Advaita, and Dharma provide a framework for understanding our place in the web of life and for living in a way that is both sustainable and just. By embracing these principles, we can begin to heal the rift between humanity and nature and create a more harmonious and sustainable future for all beings. This requires a fundamental shift in our values, from a worldview based on domination and exploitation to one based on respect, compassion, and interconnectedness. It is a shift that demands both individual transformation and collective action to create a world where all beings can thrive.